Hi, my name's Heather. I'm 25 years old. I was born in China and was adopted when I was about 16 months old, and I grew up on Camino Island, Washington. It's a little island about an hour north of Seattle. I got into horses when I was about 2 years old. My older sister, who was born and raised on Camino Island, got into horses at a very young age herself. And so when I was old enough, my mom decided that it would be a great idea for me to get involved with horses also. We weren't sure if it was something that I would get into as a hobby. I grew up training with my older sister Vanessa and her horse Boomer. He was a Bay Arabian, and he was literally my lesson horse, and we'd go out 3 or 4 times a week and she would teach me how to ride, and like little things from how to hold the reins to posting while you're trotting, and then we just progressed and it became something that I fell in love with. When I was in middle school, I decided to get a horse of my own. My first horse, which was a Norwegian Fjord, her name was Elk Lakes Bjorka, and we went by Bjorka, and she was in her 20s when I got her. And I showed her at the fairs. I did some schooling shows with her, but mainly I retired her at an early age and just trail rode her and rode her on the beaches. And then about 3 years ago, in this September of 2019, I had to put her down, and that was the hardest day of my life, and I thought my life was over with horses and didn't think I'd ever get another horse. Somehow my sister found Mally from a really good breeder over in Eastern Washington, and my older sister asked me, hey, I found a Norwegian Fjord baby. We'd have to start her as a weanling. Is that something that you're interested in doing? And I literally started crying because I'd never thought I'd have another Bjorka again, and that was just the best day of my life. And that's when we signed the contract and started making payments on her. And then about 4 months later, in November of 2018, I went over and met Mally, and that was the day that I got to take her home. With Mally, it's a lot different than Bjorka because Mally's 10 months old. I got her when she was 4 months old. Bjorka was about 20 years old and was already broke. I did a little bit of training under saddle with her, but with Mally, it's like I'm starting literally from scratch, and I'm not used to working around babies. Working with her in hand can definitely be a struggle because she gets really impatient. She's like, Mom, I'm done. I've already done my duties. But I have to be the boss. You can't be their best friend. They're herd animals, and so you have to be alpha. You have to be on top of them. And with her, because she is a pony, they have that pony mentality where she thinks that she's the boss and that I'm not the boss of her. And when they're 1,200 pounds at full growth, like, they're gonna run over the top of you. And that's been one of the hardest things for me to do with her, is leading her, putting her halter on. I blanketed her during the winter, and she had never worn a blanket, so I had to train her to wear a blanket. And for me, it's like, it's not a lot of work, but it is in a sense that with the other horse I had, it was just you throw the blanket on, no big deal. With Mally, she wiggles all over the place. It might take me 15-20 minutes to put the straps around her leg, but I just have to remember that that's okay and that she's a baby. And if she's never had a blanket on, like, you can't expect them to not be scared of that thing going on their back. And little things like, getting in the trailer. A lot of struggles with her because she is young, and I just have to remember that she's a baby. But at the same time, saying that she's a baby doesn't mean she can get away with everything she wants to get away with. You have to step up yourself and be dominant and be the boss, or else you're not going to get respect from them. You're stubborn, huh? You like it to be your way. I'm the mom. I'm in charge. You're being so good right now. Yeah.